you leave the body of this servant of God.
Performing an exorcism?
Yes.
Get off me!
Hey, Mary, we have got to get rid of the evil in you.
It's God's will. God's will. Christ died for your sin.
Okay, wait a second. So are you not going to accept our intervention here?
Kidnapping? No.
You are backsliding into the flames of hell.
Yeah. You've become a magnet for sin. We've all witnessed it.
Yes.
Sure. Veronica acting all pure. What about last spring break at the Promise Makers Rally, huh?
Oh, my God. You are making accusations as we're trying to save your soul. Mary, turn away from Satan. Jesus, he loves you.
You don't know first thing about love.
I am filled with Christ's love. God, you are just jealous of my success in the Lord.
This is not a weapon, you idiot.
We're back, everybody.
It's a beautiful evening in Pasadena.
It is indeed.
Good
Welcome
night for
back
recording.
to the show.
Welcome back.
Listeners, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in between. My name is Pete.
And I'm Scott, and these are the movies that made us gay.
Yay! Back for another one.
Back
everybody.
for another one.
Got a really fun movie this week, as with every week.
I think this is the newest movie that we've done on the podcast so far.
Get right out of town. This
Yeah,
is
I
like
think
the
this
most
is the most recent that we've done.
This movie's old as hell.
Right?
That's amazing. I can't believe that. Well, Scott, why don't you introduce our lovely movie that we watched today, and we'll also introduce our wonderful guest.
Yeah, we watched Save from 2004, directed by Brian Dannelly, with our friend Tyler.
Hey, welcome to the show,
Welcome
Tyler.
to the show.
I was like, hey, how's it going?
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So you are mutual friends of ours with our fellow podcasters of Keep It Weird, Lauren and Ashley.
Yes.
And
Indeed.
I always really enjoy your episodes. You are their cult expert.
Yes.
Do you have an official title?
I don't think I do. I mean, like, we do the cult episodes frequently. There was like 2 parts to that one, and I did an intro to Bermuda Tylinger or something like that. They did a pun with triangle, Bermuda Triangle, and Tyler.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I got to the opportunity of co-hosting their last season finale.
Awesome.
Which is amazing.
And during your last season finale, I remember you did mention multiple times the actress Mandy Moore. Actress and singer Mandy Moore.
slash
Yeah.
musician.
And I had to reach out.
What? I mean, I actually brought something that went on the journey with us.
Oh, I love it.
It's spiritual Mandy Moore.
Oh,
wow.
wow. Look at that. She's touched this actual 8x10.
It's a little bustier Stevie Nicks.
It's super busty and super
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks. A friend gave this to me for my birthday, and it has become one of my favorite things. She goes everywhere.
This is amazing. I feel like this look is also giving me a little Mariah, just like
Sure.
with the bust.
It's like channeling.
So,
yeah. She's like Stevie Nicks meets Mariah.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm,
Yeah.
and she's down. She's down with the God,
Oh my goodness. Oh yes. This is very this is very like praise him.
filled with Christ's love.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, this is like what's her character name in this movie?
Hillary Faye.
Hillary
This is
Faye,
like
come
what
on.
what Hillary Faye would Hillary Faye would like aspire to. This would be like this
the
would be like
spiritual level of-
this would be like a shrine next
I
to
don't
Jesus
know.
that she would try
She's
to.
evolved.
Or is she a little more sexier than like Hillary Faye?
I feel like if
feel-
Hillary Faye saw this, she might
She wouldn't.
take a little umbrage with how sexualized.
Cover that up.
Sure.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Cover that area.
Yes, indeed.
But we love it though.
Oh my goodness.
Put it on full display.
I mean, like most of us, I think that she is just more beautiful now.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, she looks amazing.
Yeah, she looks great.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, she's always been gorgeous.
Oh yeah, of course.
She's been rocking the brunette probably since A Walk to Remember.
Yeah.
I remember that being kind of a surprise when she made that movie and she was a brunette.
Yeah.
'Cause
Because
she
she
was-
had just originally, or
Yeah.
she'd only done Princess Diaries before that. Where she
wow.
was Lana.
Oh wow.
Or no, was it Lana? She was the popular girl. She sang Stupid Cupid. Remember
All
that?
right. Well, let's back up here.
Playing a similar character to Hillary
Let's back
Faye,
up
but
here
just not
and
churchy. Okay.
just let's start at the beginning of. I immediately wanted you on for a Mandy Moore movie, and I just figured Saved would be the perfect one.
Yes.
because I remember really liking it when I was 18 years old when I probably first watched this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I also really, really related to it on a lot of aspects that we'll probably get into.
Do you remember when you first watched it?
I do. It was, I think, I want to say it was about, yes, I do, as I think about it. It was most likely either 2005 or 2006. I was definitely still in high school, and I had come out already, but it was still relatively new.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I came out in 2014.
Okay. Did you go to private school?
No.
Okay.
No, no, and I was not sent to like any sort of mercy house. I have the most
Good,
supportive
thank
parents
God.
ever. But no, it's actually more the religious aspect, and not from me growing up that way. Just
Right.
the type of energy I was getting from people after coming out that were religious.
Right. Okay.
So I remember when this movie premiered at Sundance, because when I was in high school, I subscribed to Premiere Magazine, the now defunct
Yes.
Premiere Magazine, and I remember they would always do photo spreads of casts that would go to Sundance, and I remember the photo of Jenna Malone and Mandy Moore and Mac Culkin really standing out and being like, oh, what is this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saved.
what an eclectic group.
Yeah, so it was just sort of a movie that was always on my radar in 2004, and then this came out the summer that I graduated high school, and I immediately wanted to see it. Of course, living in a rural community, this movie was not playing anywhere in my home state, so I had to wait until the fall semester of college at MSU, and I rented it from a Hastings. And then I bought it, and I still have the used DVD that I got from the Hastings Entertainment store.
That's
That
amazing.
sold all of the rentals, and I still have it to this day, and that is what we watched.
Yeah, that's what I was commenting on earlier, is that I have the same. I have the same one. I mean, yours is a little bit more used, which is nice. Mine's been out of its case and like in a little sleeve, and I couldn't find any way to watch it today. I ended up having to do Amazon Prime.
Was this the poster?
That's kind of the VHS.
It's like the home video.
That's like the
poster.
home video poster.
Yeah, but I remember the director saying that he didn't love the logo.
Sure. Oh, the like AC/DC. Like,
Yeah, he was like,
kind
it's so metal, and he's like, that's not what
Right.
we wanted at all.
That's
And like
the-
when you watch it in the movie,
The
like it
Patrick
shows.
Fugit character wears the Jesus T-shirt with the AC/DC font.
Yeah, I think it's-
and
yeah.
it's that font. Oh, and he's
Yeah,
actually
he's
wearing
right
it in
there.
this in this
Yeah.
picture. But what I was going to say is that most of the characters or most of the actors on this poster look like the character. I feel like, except Mandy Moore is not dressed like Hilary Faye would dress.
She
Or does
actually
wear
wears
this
that outfit
She does
during the
shut
prayer
my
circle.
mouth. Okay,
Oh.
this is the prayer circle outfit. Oh,
Yes.
it is.
Which I noticed
a little rock and
Heather
Matarazzo,
her
Don Wieners.
Don Wieners.
Don Wieners from Welcome to the Dollhouse.
she says that the line that I used to always quote. She doesn't call it prayer circle. When she goes, like, she sees Mary at her locker, and she goes, "Sorry to hear about Dean's faggotry. See you at Peace Circle." Like, do you remember that? And I was like, "Peace Circle? It's prayer circle." But when we watched it, I was like, "No." She clocks it as a peace circle.
Does she wait? Is she saying peace or pee?
Oh, maybe
Like
she
maybe
did
she's
say
saying
P.
circle. Like she's
See you,
shortening
P
it 'cause,
circle.
like we're cool kids.
God, I feel so
If
bad for
there's-
her.
if there's
Remember
a
when they're
line-
like, "See you later," and she goes, "Promise."
Oh my god.
If there's a line that this movie
Tia.
was written
Oh,
and
poor
directed
Tia.
by gay men,
Oh,
faggotry,
yes.
that is
Yeah.
only a line that a gay screenwriter would write.
Yeah, would come up with. Or,
Yeah.
No, absolutely. When I was trying to send you the quote, I had to look up to make sure it wasn't like an actual official term, because I was like, maybe just for some reason it is out there and I didn't know, but I got some pretty good Urban Dictionary definitions.
I love that. Well, I saw this not in the theater. I also saw it on DVD. I rented it. But as I want to point out in so many episodes of our lovely podcast, I am hella old.
The stateswoman
So,
of movies that made us gay.
I was not in high school when this came out. I was well past those years. But what I remembered was that it was kind of like an edgy, like indie movie at the time. You know,
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin had just come off Party Monster,
Which was his like comeback, like
Which was huge
which was
comeback.
2003. He did it, but it was
Yeah.
very subtle
Yes.
comeback.
Yeah.
So like people really, I guess, attribute this to more of his comeback.
Agreed. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Because Party Monster was very under the radar, and you kind of had to look for it, seek it out. Which
He does
I
an
did,
amazing
of
job in it.
course.
I love his performance.
He's so good in that.
Yeah.
Look, go watch Party Monster. If you
We'll
haven't.
do
Yeah.
Party Monster and the Party Monster documentary eventually on this
It's-
show.
yeah.
We'll probably do it a joint episode.
Yeah, it's going to
for
have
both
to be a
of them.
joint episode because they go hand in hand. Same directors, but Yeah, and I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I went to an all-boys Catholic high school. Nothing like this. What I was telling Scott when we were watching this movie is that this is a Christian school. This is American Eagle.
American Eagle, which I was like, I'm wearing American Eagle.
Right?
They're going American Eagle.
Like, what? I don't know what private Christian school is called American Eagle. Like, they weren't called that. They're called, they're named after some saint.
Well,
or
I mean, that was
whatever.
Catholic, though. Are Christian schools the same way?
Yeah, Christian schools are usually named after, like, something, like, religious.
Right.
American Eagle, they
they
just pulled that out of their asses.
I mean, yeah, they completely made it up. It's completely fictional.
Yeah. But to me, I feel like going to Catholic school, you have to go to Mass every week. You know, you go to church. We have our services. We have religion class every day, religion teachers, all of that. But I feel like outside of the classroom and outside of going to Mass, they're not really like, I don't know. I feel like they didn't really care if you were super religious.
Well, that's what I think one of the biggest things about this film, and that's why I think that when watching it, you can still get away with some of the remarks that they make that might not be deemed PC right now.
Yeah.
Because the entire thing is meant to be seen with this satirical lens, where like that like they're overdoing the praise Jesus, they're overdoing the I mean, like at the assembly, who's down with the DOG?
Right.
You can feel Jesus, or when she's doing like my pusa is that hot pusa? She's saying she has a hot like
pussy.
Yeah, and then Mike like
they said on the commentary that they had to cut that line.
Oh, really?
I think that they sort of had to cut it off.
Well, that's why
well, they also had to cut a
mic
scene. The first scene to go, apparently, was Hilary Faye basically masturbating when she sees her brother and Cassandra kissing. She, like, to show, like, her hand, like, lowered down, I guess, in the van to show that she's, like, not above human desires. But it was just, the director said they filmed it, like, 5,000 times, and, like, it just seemed to just not...
come across weird.
Just not fit the way that, like, if she was going to be shown as human desires, her brother shouldn't be a part of it, or like like that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. He's like, "Yep, first to go."
Oh yeah, totally. But I think too something about like a Christian school, and I feel like this whatever denomination, these kids come from like born again families, and a lot of times with like if you're born again or whatever, you are super about like being a missionary and like proselytizing and like converting people
really
and
into
all
it
that.
head first. Like you missed so many of your lives that you need to like go.
And when you're a teenager, and it's like that's kind of what's touted to you as like what's cool, and this like Christian music and like Christian rock bands and all of this stuff. And going to prayer circle and all of that. So I think it's a very particular section of the religious community that this may be kind of somewhat true to, but again.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I guess I was reading that Patrick Fugit, who plays the pastor's son and Jenna Malone's love interest, he thought the script was relatively
accurate.
Not good.
Oh, okay.
He was like, "This is way too much," and then he went to some youth rallies, and he was like, "Oh,
no.
it's right on par."
I was reading
Praise
about the director, and he kind of pulled a lot of this movie from his conservative Christian background.
Yeah.
A lot of that included the Christian rock music, kind of being the one gay kid in a religious school, and he said that everything in the movie comes from either something I experienced or something I have witnessed or I have researched too.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things is that when they do these prayer circles and prayer rallies, it's easy for us to kind of roll our eyes at them, but then you kind of think, oh yeah, this is totally a thing.
They're super about
also,
it.
I don't want to like creep into this category, but there's a lot of similarities between that and cults and the type of chanting. So, like, just from my research that I've done from cults, I just know that type of energy is so easily displaced into like a room, and you can get really, enveloped in that and get really, excited about what you're praying about.
Oh, trust me,
it's truly the only way to save Dean.
I mean, come on.
Prayer works. It's been medically proven.
Medically proven. I mean, going to Catholic school for 12 years, we had to go to Mass every week. There have been so many times throughout that 12-year career where some student is just like, when you really take yourself out of mass and it's the same thing. They just comment on the fact that it's a bunch of people in a room saying the same thing, staring in one direction, looking at some dude, chanting. You know,
Right.
and when you think about it, you're like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." So yeah, it's like that's a whole other separate conversation. But being that I do have private school experience, I always have something to say about movies that are set in private schools, namely uniform etiquette.
I was gonna say, how's the uniforms? How are they?
God.
Was she wearing a skirt in the beginning, or is that Mandy? Was she, or are those just short, like unfortunate
They were
shorts?
probably just shorts because
Yeah.
walking shorts were always a staple. I'll give it to them that they had the option of you can wear the white Oxford button-down shirt, you know, with the collar and the short sleeves, or maybe even a long sleeve. You have the option of a polo.
Oh wait, they don't wear those all the time. Mary starts wearing all sorts of things
Well,
like Santa. I'm sorry. Yep. No,
Yeah,
go for
that's
it.
when
No,
it gets
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. No, it gets crazy.
But
Now
that
I'm
wasn't
thinking
even
about
that
it.
wasn't even my
Patrick
thing.
Fugit is introduced walking into the school
With his
shirt
uniform shirt completely
untucked.
unbuttoned.
And he has a skateboard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a skateboard in hand. He's got an unbuttoned shirt. His T-shirt that's underneath it completely untucked, and he's got a tattoo.
Hey, you
And
know
this
what
is
though?
the-
You know what though? He's the pastor's son.
I was going to say, this is the
Jeez.
pastor's son,
That's
too.
the only way you can get away with it.
Well, no,
because-
it's either the complete opposites, right? Like you're either so on or you're so off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, get away with it with the teachers. I'm telling you, if
Oh,
I
yeah.
walked into
Oh, yeah.
a classroom with a shirt untucked,
You're going to get
They
a
would-
detention.
But also, like, on a different level, I don't think that a teacher would have tried to hide a sonogram either. You know what I mean? At that school.
True,
Like
that's
that,
true.
like, which is one of the moments where I'm like, that
that
woman
was
tried
an
so
interesting
hard.
moment when that woman,
tried
that
so
teacher
hard.
was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kind
snoop.
of save her," but she snooped. But then she saw it and she was like,
She was
"I'm
gonna
gonna
try-
hold. I'm gonna
Yeah.
like."
I just love that Mandy's so rude during it. She starts laughing.
such
She's
an
like,
asshole.
what is that?
Such an asshole. But yeah, the uniforms, much like in The Craft, which is another documentary, according to my high school experience, the uniforms in this are all over the map. These kids got away with way too much. I mean, untucked shirts, unbuttoned shirts, baggy clothing, and then once Jenna Malone becomes full on like
Preggers.
third trimester, it just all goes out the window. She's wearing
Really,
whatever
though.
the hell she wants.
She was just stress eating, you guys. I didn't want her to get a complex.
Jeez Louise. So that was my experience watching this movie. I knew that it was kind of a cool like indie movie. Mac was in it. He's playing like a paraplegic. Oh wow.
I guess he did a lot of research.
He did a lot of that
and,
wheelchair
like,
work
He had
himself.
he had the gloves.
all his own stunts.
Yeah.
all his own stunts.
I mean, she pushed him off that curb. Without a care in the world, Hillary
He landed it like a pro.
Shoved
He would,
his ass off
He would
the
even
curb.
have to do that thing where you have to sort of pop a wheelie to like jump up on
Yeah.
on certain things.
Well, yeah, I read that he got it like 3 months ahead of time and went and like worked with people and asked what the common mistakes were so that he
Sure.
wouldn't do them. Although there is a part though when he like remember when he's on the lawn after that long night
And he
kinda,
pulls
like,
himself up on
yeah, and it's those crossfades in between. I remember thinking, no,
Probably why they had to do all those cuts, because it's like got to be hard to pull yourself up onto a wheelchair and
With
make it
just
look
your
like
arms.
yeah, and make
And
it look like your legs
Macaulay
don't
Culkin.
work. Yeah. Oh man, some of his I love Macaulay Culkin. I mean, come on, who doesn't? But some of his line delivery, I was getting a little Michael Alec. Party Months.
yeah, a little bit.
It's a couple of things here and there.
they were
Like,
back to back.
Oh, girl.
Calm,
Yeah.
calm down. It's a gay movie.
Now, I don't think that Mac has worked since this movie, and he was just cast in American Horror Story.
Can't write it down.
Was he really?
He
I don't
doesn't have
think-
he doesn't have a.
We don't need more
credit?
characters on
I
that
don't
show.
think that-
Oh goodness, he
I
just
don't
got
think
on
that
next season.
he's done anything since this movie.
But I mean, does he have to? He can
No.
buy and sell.
Well, that's the
all
whole
of
thing.
us. I mean,
and
he's so
you know what's
rich.
funny is that a thought did cross through my mind that I'm just like, ugh, that's kind of a stretch. Mac is playing high school. Isn't he a little too old for that? And then I got like a second look at him, and I'm just like, yeah, I buy it.
Flawless.
He looks
I buy
so
it.
young.
He still looks
Flawless.
like a child. It's just one of those
Jenna
things.
Malone was only 19.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that he's been in my life for that long that I just assume that like, oh, he must has aged out of a high school movie.
It's-
No,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he I guarantee you, if he were to go into a mirror when he was filming that and slap his face and scream, he'd have the exact same
Oh
skin.
my god, totally.
I guess that when the director offered him this movie, Mac had never done a high school movie.
Yeah.
They just didn't manage
Yeah, well,
to...
when would he?
Well, I was going to say, like, they didn't
Yeah.
manage to scoop him up in the late 90s to
Yeah.
do a teen movie.
No, but what's interesting is that most of the conversations that he had while promoting it or while talking about it was about his experience at a Catholic church.
Okay.
He was like part of and he got really into it, but he was like talking about how he's more into the majesty of it and
Sure.
how like something's so beautiful and like what is the point of this almost.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of that interview, though, him and Jenna Malone kind of came to the same consensus that like there's just too much out there that is coincidence for it all to be
Right.
perfect, and they like
Right.
no judgment. That's the one thing too that I do love about this film. While they go to extremes because of the satire aspect of it, I mean, it is truly about the fact that you can have religion and you can have all these other options as well, and that religion can evolve.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
like that.
and it seems pretty balanced of how it portrays faith, and kind of it does preach tolerance and kindness, much like Jesus Christ.
That's an excellent note.
At the end of
Yeah,
it,
what
like,
Jesus is
it
supposed to
definitely
promote.
does sort of kind of hearken to Jesus's message.
It does.
That these
actually.
outsiders are sort of teaching, kind of
Right.
the Mandy Moore.
Well, that's the biggest.
character.
That's the big
Yeah.
irony of like of organized religion is that if everybody, most like Christian religions fall back on the teachings of like Jesus, he's. I'm not even going to get into that, but you know what I mean. Like,
Well, yeah, because this movie isn't about like you trying to make a religious statement.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to open up the dialogue that there are many different people out there.
Yes.
And that religion can still be a part of anyone's life if they want it, but it doesn't have to be so strict that and so black and white. Like he says, the Bible is black and white, and she's like, the Bible is anything but the black and white.
So
It's all gray area.
How long had it been since we had all revisited this movie?
I mean, I haven't seen this movie.
I haven't seen this movie in
probably
years.
since it first came out on home video.
And it's interesting to go
2004.
back.
I
and
watched it 2 weeks ago. No, I'm kidding. No, I actually haven't seen it in a while either.
So it's interesting when you go back and revisit this movie in 2020 because this movie is so mid-2000s.
Yes.
It's so 2004.
Yes.
Just what they're
Yes,
wearing.
indeed.
And it's one of those things that I remember thinking that it was a very like sharp satire, but kind of reflecting now. I still like the movie, but I feel like it could have gone a little like it could have kind of jabbed that knife in a little more. I kind of
In what
wanted
way?
it to be a little sharper. I don't know. And it's one of those things that at the time we all thought it was edgy, but I think that just 15 years later,
I think you can still consider it edgy.
I think
Actually,
so. I mean, in the clip that we played to intro the movie, Hilary Faye, Mandy Moore's character, who is like the most pious, the most devout girl in this entire school, in her efforts to like bring Mary back into their circle, is so upset that she throws a Bible at her.
well, they're
Yeah.
trying to perform an exorcism.
I guess
on Mary.
I guess I stand corrected.
And then she like says like I'm filled with Christ's love and throws her Bible. No, she says you're backsliding into the depths of hell, Mary, because she's pregnant. And then she's like, this isn't a weapon. This Bible isn't, you idiot.
Yeah, and I feel like
Like
something,
those lines, those starts, or like think about like when they're dressed, they're as the angels for Halloween, and they're like, "I'm thinking you need to do something about Mary," and the friend goes, Heather
Matarazzo.
Thank you so much. She goes, "You mean like killer?
You mean like killer?
like shooter.
Yeah, you mean like shooter?"
Well,
Also, man, think about the beginning. Your introduction to Hilary Faye, besides her painting Jesus, is at the shooting range where she's shooting the dick off of her like target,
Yeah.
and her shirt says "Emmanuel, an eye for an eye."
that's very drop dead gorgeous.
Jesus loves winners.
Yes.
Very drop dead gorgeous.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
so drop dead
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Well, hunting's dangerous.
I love that they had their speaking of early 2000s, they had their angel costumes with like velour tracksuits.
Some like Juicy Couture.
Yeah, and she's wearing like a powder blue like velour
yes.
tracksuit. I love it. I just think the idea of someone throwing a Bible at someone else while saying she's filled with Christ's love, it's just so John Waters. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very,
It
it's
is
very
pretty John
subversive.
Waters. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I do get what you're saying because it is relatively safe in terms of what we see now. There's certain things that really push.
I think it's one of
Yeah.
those things that I'm so used to the slick A24 neon
Yeah.
Oh, I
like
love
independent
it.
film
Yes.
that's like this scathing critique like Ingrid Goes West on like social media.
But I feel like this is comparable if you think about the times and what we were.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for the time it is what as far to that.
And when you listen to interviews with the director, he really had to fight to get this made. Like, there was numerous attempts to do it, and then funding pulled through. They had originally cast Anne Hathaway, and they were very close to filming it. And then financing dropped out, and she had to go make
Ella
Enchanted for Miramax.
Ooh, child.
Yes, so, and she and Mandy Moore actually only came in 3 weeks before they started shooting.
Oh, wow.
And I guess the director did say, he said, you know, if he had seen A Walk to Remember, he would have went to Mandy first, only in the aspect because of the religious character that she plays.
Oh, sure.
She's playing honestly, she's playing like what we would like in a religious person, or what we would hope to is, who's preaching love, who's not, judgmental, who's not, basically the opposite of Hillary Fane. You knew that she could get there by having that first conviction. Anne Hathaway would have done a great job. It would have been interesting.
I agree.
It's just ironic that they also were in Mandy's first movie, Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
I remember that was a big deal when Mandy Moore was in that movie.
Yeah, it was her first acting thing. She'd only done like a voice, I think, on Racing Stripes. And then
who could forget Racing Stripes?
I mean, I didn't even see it. I don't think when I was trying to support her in like everything. But I also liked Hayden Panettiere, and I was like, okay, let's watch a zebra get raced. No, but yeah, she'd just done Princess Diaries, and then A Walk to Remember, and then it was just funny that, and also Heather.
Have you seen Welcome to the Dollhouse?
No.
She's so good.
You should watch Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Really?
It's like required queer viewing.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really good. We're going to take a break while he goes and watches Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yeah. And we'll be right back.
Well, that was an emotional roller coaster.
Oh my goodness, that movie, Welcome to the Dollhouse. Get out of here. We're back. So, yeah, I do kind of find it interesting that the short bit that we did listen to of the director's commentary, he's like, I love that we were able to make this movie with our first choices for every character. And I was like, didn't IMDb say that you had someone else in mind for Hillary Faye?
Yeah, no, well, I do know that Jenna Malone got to read the script, had a meeting with him and one of the producers, and vibed so well, and she loved the fact, she said that there wasn't a teen movie about spiritual discussion.
Well, it's interesting because 2003 and 2004 was kind of, there was some major movies that revolved around God and Jesus. There was Bruce Almighty.
Okay.
Huge blockbuster.
Okay.
And also, do you know another Christ movie that came out in 2004?
A Jesus movie from 2004, and it wasn't Bruce Almighty.
Wait, give us a hint.
It was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Directed by
like comedy.
Directed by a vaguely racist movie star.
Oh, The Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ. So yeah,
guy.
So I mean, but
Lord have mercy.
We all kind of forget that Passion of the Christ was a huge fucking hit.
Yeah, it was.
So this would have been coming off of that movie making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. And also this movie did decent money. Like it made back its budget. It made almost $10 million.
What was the budget on this movie?
I mean, it was only $8 million, but still,
I mean, you saw Mandy's hair.
But for a small movie, like it was a decent hit.
Really a great cast.
Great cast.
A great cast.
I do want to talk a little bit about the styling since you mentioned Mandy's hair in this movie.
I actually really like. The more I watch it, the more I actually love it so much because it's so Hillary
It's giving
Faye.
me a little Jane Fonda from Clute.
It's very Jane Fonda from Clute. It is a mullet.
It's a
mullet. No joke. It's like, I mean, you could call it like a shag. Like
you can't.
I mean,
no, it's a mullet.
It's short on the top,
Have they
long
done
in the back.
Also, her bun at the end.
The butt's terrible.
But I think again, it adds that whole pageantry of the Hillary Faye character.
Like,
and apparently, the director had to dial it back because she's like, "Make the pimple bigger, make it bigger."
I love that. I love it. So Hillary Faye is rocking this like fashion mullet from like 2004. I don't know. If I had seen that out in the street, I'd be like, what the fuck? But okay, whatever. It's a fashion mullet. She's like indie rock.
Yeah, but then also, did you notice every hair that could be flipped out was?
Okay, so here's my point. Mary gets into the car at the very beginning of the movie. Her hair is crazy flipped.
It's
right?
just like
I'm not
Shwing!
I'm not even going to mention the fact that in like one scene it's like super flipped, and then like in the next cut it's a little bit more flat.
It was a long
the
day.
Next cut it's like
It was a long day.
Back to being flippy.
Day.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched? Wait, sorry. Speaking of gay movies,
No, go.
Wizard of Oz. Recently,
the curls.
The curls, up and down and up and down and up and down. I mean, just like crazy.
Oh yeah, you
Her
can
pigtails are just different lengths throughout the entire film.
all over the place.
Yeah.
Very similar to this. I
Yes.
totally thought of that actually when I was watching. So Scott was mentioning to me, he's like, her hair doesn't stay as flippy throughout the entire movie.
It goes down with her journey.
And that was my thing. I said, it goes down with her journey. Once she gets ejected from the Christian Jewels and Tia takes her place, Heather Matarazzo, Tia's hair now becomes super flippy.
Fabulous. So
And
we'll know what it is.
and
It's
it gets
blonde
blonder and blonder.
it's curly.
See,
and
yeah.
remember, Mandy even says, like, do you want to go back to your old hair? She goes, do you want to back to Invisible Girl with bad hair?
Yes.
See, I feel like there needed to be a little more of her.
Yeah.
I had
feel
just
like
enough.
I wanted to see a little
I did, because I
more.
think like she would kind of be like a gag, and like, you know, like in season 6 of a show where they have like that side character that's so funny because they're not on the screen all the
Sure.
time, and then as soon as they bring them on, it's like, oh, you've ruined it because
Yeah,
you've
you don't
done
want it
too
to-
many weird
yeah,
things.
yeah.
All I'm
I feel like
saying-
she's the perfect amount of desperate, filling the role and then saving the day.
All I'm saying
Yeah,
is
I
that they
agree.
booked Dawn Wieners, and I just wanted to see.
I mean,
More Dawn.
When
She's
you
great.
have Dawn Wieners
She's great.
in your stable, you use her.
I wanted more of a monologue with her fish tank and Jesus
Oh my god.
at her summer vacation.
But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying. It turns into that weird thing where it's like SNL has a character that's funny, and then they bring it back next week, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the one from last week that
so
was really
funny.
good, and then
Yeah.
they bring it back the next week, and you're like, that one was kind of funny, and then by week 6, you're like, all right, just retire this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need that anymore.
Plus, we're so fleshed out with so many outrageous characters already that
Yeah.
it's nice to have that one that kind of punches in, and
Yeah.
she does have a full journey.
Yeah, I feel like you can watch this movie, like, you watch it to appreciate it, and then I feel like you go back in, like, a couple days later and just watch Tia. And, like, she's kind of, like,
I
has...
try, you guys. I swear. I mean, I'm not crazy, but I just love Mandy. I think she's so good in this.
She's really...
I like, yeah. So it's just really fun for me. And I guess Jenna Malone was really skeptical about her casting.
About Mandy Moore being cast?
I mean,
Yeah.
she had never quite
Yeah.
done anything like this.
Well,
before
and especially
in her
not
career.
this range. I mean, sure, she was mean
Yeah.
in
Ellen-
Princess
or
Diaries,
Diaries.
but like not to this type of level and devotion to the Lord.
Let me say this about Jenna Malone.
And Jenna Malone, though, I will just say this though really quickly. Though Jenna Malone, after like changed her tune completely, she's like she actually
Sure.
pushed me to like work in these scenes.
Scott, what year is Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko's 2001.
2001. So this is
Yeah.
3
Where
years
was
later.
Stepmom?
Stepmom was 98.
98, yeah.
And she's also...
She's like a child.
Which
she's
she's
also-
starring with Susan Sarandon's actual daughter
she's
in this.
right.
also baby Jodie Foster in Contact.
She is baby Jodie Foster. in
So she's
Contact.
been
I
working
forget about
since
that.
she was like...
Yes.
Oh, she's
7.
been doing yes.
She had a lot of child actor
I feel like her
stuff.
breakout was Stepmom.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then, like, also, like, Cold Mountain. Like, that's, like, one that people forget about.
I forgot she's in Cold Mountain.
Did
I
you
mean,
know that-
recently I
Slap
saw
my
her
face.
in Neon Demon.
Yeah. And she's... Oh, she has a big movie coming up.
Does she?
Yeah, I forget what. So I saw Jenna Malone in New York on stage in Doubt. She was playing the Amy Adams.
No way.
Yeah.
I bet that would have been
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah, she was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I remember seeing Donnie Darko, and at the time, being in my early 20s, late teens, thinking, this bitch. Because I really just thought that was one of the ones where I really just thought if me and Jake Gyllenhaal just were in a room together, and we were in several rooms together, and all, that's a different story. That's for the Patreon, which we don't have. My whole thing was just like, me and Jake would just get along so well. And here's
Especially early 2000s.
and here's
Jake.
this girl from Stepmom coming in to this super cool movie, and Donnie Darko's just this like indie movie. It's so cool. It has all this street cred. My girl Drew Barrymore, my older sister, like produces this movie.
Ashley Tisdale's in it.
Ashley Tisdale is in Donnie Darko. She's a student in the school.
She's like 2 lines, I think, or
That is a movie that illustrates very good private school uniform etiquette.
Definitely.
Because those motherfuckers
Okay.
are wearing that shit right. They're
I feel like wardrobe always wants to be like, okay, you're going to tell the disheveled character by
Yes.
their wardrobe. You're going to tell the cool person. You're going to tell the person
Yeah.
that's really into...
which we haven't even spoken about Ava Amiri yet.
Martin. Ava
Mary
Mary Martin.
Martin yet. And her arrival in this, like, is that a Cougar? What kind of car is that? Like,
I don't know cars at all, but it's amazing. She just dumps the ashtray out.
First of all, she has an ashtray in her car.
Yes, a full ashtray. And like Mandy walks up and she's like trying to save her so hard because she's described as the only Jew at American.
The only Jewish.
Yeah, the only Jewish
at American Eagle.
And so she like goes up to her and she goes, secondhand smoke kills. And then Cassandra or Ava turns and goes, I'm counting on it, and flicks a cigarette at Mandy.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
She's like, smoking's not just bad for you.
Oh yeah, she's like, smoking's not just bad for you; it affects it. And she has like the whole speech, yeah. And then she walks over. Then Mandy walks over to her car and sees that it's like Jesus loves you, and everyone else thinks you're an asshole bumper sticker, and she like scratches it out. But I was realizing that it shows her anger, and it shows like how far she's willing to go. Like, because she scratches it for a long time. That's somebody
else's property that she's like just vandalizing. Yeah. I'm thinking this too. I'm like, all right, Hillary Faye, this is early in the movie, and you were like,
but it's just a foreshadowing. It's a little glimpse. That's why I love this though, because it's giving you everything you need to without realizing that you're getting it.
Yes.
I would have never noticed that if I had seen it before, or if I hadn't seen it before.
Right. When your first viewing, you're just like, okay. There's also on the bumper sticker. There's also a website, and I was like, I'm going to go to that website and order that bumper sticker.
Really?
Yeah. The everyone Jesus loves you, but everyone else thinks you suck or whatever.
Yeah, you're
There's a little baby website. Like, I was like, I'm going to zoom it on.
That's so
giant
cool
TV.
that you did that.
Yeah. But
wait, speaking of websites, can we talk about when Mary, near the beginning, after her boyfriend has come out, she types in gay to ask Jeeves, and the site that pops up.
What was it?
I don't remember what it's called. It's clearly made to be funny, but it's like a man in leather grabbing his nipples, going, yeah.
And there's
it's like
audio.
A little gif. Yeah, and there's a little gif, and she like freaks out and.
But I like to think that
that was like the interpretation of gay.
Yeah.
It's his interpretation of what people see when they do go onto a site like that, when they have this sort of mind that Mary's in.
Yes.
I love that aspect.
I love the porno that he's caught with.
Oh God, that magazine. Well, I also wait. He's caught with it the night before, and he's sent away to Mercy House that morning.
That morning, yeah.
I also do love, of course, after like Mary learns and she gets back into the car or the van, Mandy goes, well, is he coming out or not?
So when I was scanning for clips today, that scene when he's holding Honcho in his hand, at the very bottom of the screen, you can see that he's got a boner popping through his like underwear.
That's amazing.
Did you ever notice that?
Well, yes, I did, only because...
Isn't that crazy?
Well, no, I did, because it's their reason why he was able to have sex with Mary.
Because he already had a boner.
He was already hard.
Oh,
like, if you
come
think
on.
about
That makes sense.
That's why he's caught with the magazine and they're able to do it.
Here's my
Seriously, because they're not able to do it in the car
that's
at the make-out point or whatever.
Right,
I mean, he was kind of hot and bothered by the magazine, and she just happened to walk in.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you're right.
By the way, did you guys ever watch, I think on TNT, the 4400?
No.
Oh, that's where I know him from. He came back, like, the show was about people that were taken from random points of time and there was like 4,400 of them that were taken back and brought back to Earth.
Like Avengers.
He was very good.
I'm getting, like, white facial blindness from him that I'm just like, where have I seen him in?
That's the thing I know him from.
He's just, like, unidentified actor from the 2000s, like, no, that's not Kip Pardue.
Who's Kip Pardue?
Did you ever see...
Did you see Rules of Attraction?
Rules of Attraction with James Vanderbeek. He was in that.
He was in 13.
No, I don't think I saw 13.
He's like the neighbor, like
I think
25-year-old.
I think Kip Pardue got blacklisted because he was like super gross.
Oh, sure.
I think he got blacklisted
because he Randy Quaid sort of thing.
I think he Me Too'd a lot of girls like before Me Too was a thing, and then it was like right when his career was going to take off, and then directors were like, "Fuck this guy."
Well, there's
like
actually,
an Alex Pettyfer kind
that,
of a thing.
Speaking of that, at the very I need to learn about this Alex Pettyfer thing.
Well, Alex Pettyfer is allegedly supposed to be not nice.
I think he's just.
I can't
asshole.
say, but I have interacted with him.
He's gorgeous. But
I've interacted. Yeah,
I think he's just supposed to be.
He's gorgeous.
Let's just say that there was a reason why he did none of the press for Magic Mike.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Interesting. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So, but Dean in this movie.
Oh, no, what I was going to say. No, wait, Dean actually. in the beginning, after she goes through her rant, which I just love because they basically added Christian to everything. My mom was just named the best Christian interior designer. Like, you know what I mean? And he's skating for the Lord. But he runs up and he actually spanks her ass.
Oh, okay.
Chad Faust.
Yes, Chad Faust. And I remember, when I was watching it, thinking, did they discuss that? Just like, I know that's so random, but I was like, just, and in that sense, you know, as an actress, was she then like, okay, well, Mary in this sense would have liked that or would have been okay with it?
Yeah.
Like there's a very, I mean, I'm guessing they did as an actor, like you have to talk about those things.
Yeah.
But there is a part of you that thinks, okay, did he just do that? Is she okay with it because it was acting or, you know?
Yeah.
It was interesting.
In character.
I thought of the movie that Jenna Malone's going to be in. She's going to be in Antebellum.
Oh, is she really?
Oh,
the one with with Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
I know nothing actually about it. I just know it's creepy.
Looks good.
Yes.
I'm getting sort of like a Westworld vibe.
Yeah,
on
kind
like a
of.
slave plantation. It
Yes.
looks interesting.
I just hope I will understand it a little bit more than Westworld.
Oh my God, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I don't. Yeah, actually, speaking of horror films, apparently Invisible Man is like.
Oh, we saw it.
Did you?
So I am convinced you're a cults expert. I have a thing about Elizabeth Moss that I cannot stand because I think that she is just like. I think that she is just like.
I can't.
Don't. I actually, and I'm sorry to say this because I love to support anyone in their art, and I will say she is actually a phenomenal actress. She is really good.
Yeah, she's
but
great.
if I have the wherewithal to not support her, I will.
Thank you. We're all on the same page.
Us was a huge thing for me, actually, because I was like, I really want to support his second film. I really want to support the actors in it. I think it has a really cool premise, but I was really upset with her casting because I think that it is so wrong for her to be preaching about how she's helping the world and she's helping women and she's helping LGBT and she's helping all these people. Well, actually part of a cult that is systematically destroying those people.
Thank you so much for agreeing with
that's
wholeheartedly.
Exactly my thoughts on
everything we have to
I
say
loved
about
Invisible Man, and I am convinced it is a cry for help because the movie is about gaslighting, and Scientologists know about being like gaslit.
Yeah.
And I believe it is Elizabeth Moss's cry for help that she needs to leave Scientology.
It's now a warning?
Yes, like that scene in the trailer when she's in the restaurant and she's just like looking around and scattered. It's like, you guys, it's that. She's going to become a repressive person.
We'll probably just end up cutting this.
No, I'm leaving it in. Come after me, Lizzie.
I know. For one second we were talking about Mandy's boobs. I was like, let's not be disrespectful, guys.
I can see your dirty pillows. Everyone will.
But
no. Back to Saved. How can we? Oh, actually, speaking of saved, like the actual word saved, Jenna Malone apparently went through the process of being born again or saved 3 times before going through the movie just to get into it and get into the Mary character.
That's intense.
She's apparently very almost meta in that sense, though, which I can respect to a certain regard. You know, if I got a part where I was playing a homeless person, I'd probably go and sleep on the street for a night. You know, or
I get that.
I wonder what like Christians were just like, all right, like Hollywood actor, like we're gonna like dunk you in this like baby pool.
That's what's so interesting. So one of the reasons why the movie is so prevalent for me is because, like I said, when I came out, which was around the time this film was released, I was 14 when I did.
Wow, good for
that's
you.
Young.
Good for you.
It was
Good
really
for you.
young.
That's
I had a
amazing.
very supportive family.
Yeah.
But I was 14. So actually it came out a few years after. And I had noticed just in my town that the people I was getting the most flack from were the people that I was receiving almost the most hate from were always religiously inclined.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Christian, but always that was the common factor. And so to relate on a level where I saw these people going so far as to say, like, this is getting a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
I felt seen. I felt visibility.
Yeah.
And I'm from Seattle. That's a really progressive place. I'm in a very, very lucky situation to have been in a really accepting community. I mean, I had my hardships as well, but so to relate to a movie on that standpoint was really nice for me. And I think the biggest thing that I've really struggled with when it comes to homosexuality is just the fact that I've been received so much flack from someone that's religiously inclined.
Yeah.
And so this felt like it was a discussion. It started to open up a discussion to, that we still need today.
Yeah, for sure.
About it. I mean, I know someone who joined a church, and he was told that everything was going to be the same for him, because even though he was homosexual, it was fine and he felt supported. And then he found out later that it was okay as long as he wasn't a youth group leader or he wasn't a participant in this. And if he did want to be that, then he'd have to go and box it out in the ring because it was something that he had a problem. It was a problem.
Yeah.
So that's where you start to get, but I've also met so many people who are Christian who are also loving.
Yeah.
And it's about this mutual respect, I think, that we just haven't found.
It's a really fine line, and I'm glad that the movie didn't go into the whole...
it didn't go deeper than it needed to.
Didn't go into the hate the sin, love the sinner territory.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's because they were keeping it as satire,
It definitely has heart, but I think they tried to keep it more. Their poignant message came from like the witty, lines of them, or the over the top aspect of it.
Yeah. So like in this movie, the Ava Miri Martin character plays the school's only Jewish. And, the thing about private schools is that you have to pay tuition to go to these schools. They're not public schools. That's what they're private. They are for profit,
Forgot about that.
Seriously,
I'm so out of touch with private schools.
It's high school, but you are paying tuition to go there.
I mean, now I feel like it'd be like a dream to go to an all-boys school, but like,
I know.
Was not.
Oh, yeah, no. You think about it, but no. But the thing is, because you're paying tuition, there's the politics involved, If you're paying the full ride...
I mean, there's politics involved.
With everything. Yeah, this is true. But they will accept Jewish kids. They will accept, my school, my high school that I went to was in downtown Los Angeles. So we had a lot of Asian kids that were not Catholic that went to the school because it was safer. It was a better curriculum. And so their parents sent them there because it was a better school than the one that was in their district.
So were they allowed any sort of, like, I remember in public schools, certain people being able to celebrate their religious holidays, or like if there was anything that was not the same religion as Catholicism, were they able to still practice those, or were...
Yeah, they just had to go to Mass.
So they were learning about. I mean, they were learning about another religion.
Yeah, they had to go to class.
I mean, I think the only class you see anyone in this movie is a religious class.
Oh, yeah,
the one where
for sure.
Jesus is watching you in the background.
In the giant evolution.
There's a creationism
poster in the back.
Yes.
Actually, creationism.
Well, no,
yeah.
I think it is that classroom that Pastor Skip does the sex talk as well, where he has the women's body projected on it.
That gross those bodies with like the.
We haven't talked about the adults actually in this movie. Pastor Skip or Mary Louise Parker.
I know.
As
You know
her
what I was
mom.
thinking? Mary Louise Parker would have had to make this movie after Angels in America. So Mary Louise Parker did Angels in America. She ended up winning probably every award that you can think of for TV.
You're right.
And it's fascinating that she chose to do a little teen indie
But
movie.
she hits it right.
I think she's really, really good in this
she
movie.
nails it because it's hard to play flighty. It's hard to play. I don't think she's dumb. I just think that she's blinded, and it's hard to play that aloofness in a very real way.
It's an interesting backstory because she's born again, and you can tell that she would have had the Jenna Malone character when she was probably like 17 or 16.
Right, and then she lost the husband who had that kid.
Yeah.
Like, very early on.
Yeah. Well, my explanation is
I just love that her hair transformation.
Oh the hair
we
journey for her
we were
is
noticing
insane.
the foils, and that's not quite how you
I'm
foil.
like, is this bitch?
That's not
is
quite.
this bitch foiling her
That's not
own
quite
hair,
how you foil hair.
bleaching it
I
out
mean,
in her living room by herself?
But it also looked a lot longer.
Yeah, because it is when it's blonde. That's a wig.
But I do love when she goes, just got off the phone with Hillary Faye. Boy, can she be a little hooty-hoo.
Right? So, yeah, she's totally calling her out.
That's cute because that's something that Christian people do is skate around the bad language.
Yeah.
And call somebody a hooty-hoo. I love that. That's super duper like.
But I also love like her
Christian people
journey
do.
too. When you think about the beginning of it, and you're thinking about they're watching that Jeopardy almost, but like Christian
Oh,
Jeopardy.
yeah, whatever that
and
is.
every answer she gets is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything. And it's not until she's reached her turning point
The
where
very
she's watching
end, she
it
gets all of
where she
them.
gets everything right,
Yeah,
but
for
it
sure.
pertains also to the story. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, she is clued in. She gets it. Also, her last look to Pastor Skip when she's holding the baby is like, you
Yeah.
got it.
I like
I'm
that.
so sorry.
I feel
but
like
you got
there
it.
needed.
Yeah.
I feel like there probably needed to be more scenes with Mary Louise Parker and Martin Donovan. I think that I needed probably one of just them.
They do have the one of them at the restaurant where they're
Yeah,
like,
they're
you know,
on, like,
she's
a weird
watching that
date,
people
yeah.
like kissing, and she's like, I want romance. Like, what are we doing here?
I think I needed one more. Do you know
You could have, yeah. I also love them in the
yeah.
closet, in the supply closet, after Mary
Yeah.
like has come out to everyone about the whole baby thing. They have that moment where
I
like
love-
we're not right with the Lord.
I love
and she's
how-
like, I don't want to get her a complex.
I love how she plays that scene too when she finds out that she's pregnant. They would later go on to star in Weeds together, too.
Pastor Skip.
Is that what he's from?
Pastor Skip is
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
the-
familiar with his
he's-
career.
he's in
but
season
he was
1.
super believable. I mean, I did not
Yeah.
like him.
He's in
No.
season 1 of Weeds, and he's a DEA agent that Nancy falls in love with.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I fell off Weeds after like 4
I mean,
episodes.
the director and writer.
Yeah. He's done a lot of
directed
TV, and he did a lot of Weeds.
Yeah, he hasn't done many
okay.
films after this, has he?
He's just kind of now a director for hire for TV, which is great.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
working. He's getting that paycheck.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I would love for him to tackle another script just to see
Yeah.
what he can offer. Just because of the fact that I did think there was a lot of poignant messages that he reaches that are still
Oh, for sure.
outside.
What I was thinking, if you were to make this movie, a movie like this in 2020, I feel like the main character would probably be the gay teenager.
Do you?
But the story is about her getting pregnant.
This is true, but
And
if
the-
you're
honestly,
but
I mean, we gays keep trying.
But I think if you were to update the premise, I feel like the gay character in that experience, that would be your main story.
Sure, like in the
Yep.
closet or something. Yeah.
Did you
Okay.
see
In the
Boy Erased?
closet- I did see Boy Erased.
Yeah.
Boy Away?
Boy Erased.
No, I saw Boy Erased.
That's kind
I
of
did
like
it a
that's
lot.
kind of like the heavier version of this movie.
There's also
like
the
the-
miseducation of Cameron.
Oh, yeah, that's
Post.
right, with Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah.
Mhm. And there's one more that I was trying to think of, but I can't actually know.
Yeah, the gay conversion angle. Well, that's what is the house that he goes
Mercy
to?
House.
Mercy House.
Yeah. Which we didn't get a whole lot of that. I don't know.
No.
It was more, I think, important to see it through the lens of someone who was affected by it, but it's not directly attached.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's not her, not struggle, but it's not her. You know, she did everything right.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
a sense, he didn't do anything wrong. It's just like, but it's something that he has to. It's up to him.
Yeah.
She has no control over it.
I would like to talk about Madeline Ashton. I would like to talk.
You guys should have seen the eye contact. There was like a prep.
I was onto
They were
it.
able. They were just.
I actually don't have that little sound drop, but I would like to talk about the Christian jewels. There are pins involved. There's a song. I love that. What is not Mary, not Hillary Faye, but
She's the one from Vietnam?
not Tia.
Yes, I know.
the other girl.
And sorry about what's his name in the rectory. What is her name in
But
Veronica?
Veronica.
But I love that
Played by Elizabeth Ty.
Yes, and she. Although I noticed that her and Chad Faust were like billed together.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like everyone got their own, and then it was like them, and I was like, guys,
And,
we can
yeah.
pop that up. We can pop that up. No, I love this. The amount of use that Mandy says heathens, but that she thinks that Veronica's her own personal project of like,
I love it.
how God can really like overcome a savage land like Vietnam.
I
that
love
itself.
I love that in the Christian Jewels, Veronica plays the xylophone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like at least Mary is playing like the fucking piano. Like that is
keyboard,
an instrument.
remember?
This keyboard, she's like turning it
Don't you
out.
remember? And Mandy's like, I love just how she compliments my vocals without overpowering them.
I mean, it's something.
Mandy's being a little extra in this. I love
Dear
it.
God.
She comes out from backstage. That is the voice of an angel.
Being a little more extra than usual.
Sing it for us. Oh, synth.
Harmonies.
And her hands like up in the air, just like, and her eyes closed.
She's praising him.
So I figured they would have sent you to a special school by now.
This is a special school. So,
I love that when they're outside the assembly and they start
and it's
to
very
really
cute.
This is one of those things that probably when he wrote this scene that they were expecting that the actress that they would get to play Hillary would be a bad singer. But it's one of those things that when casting, well, we got Mandy Moore.
Well, I mean, Anne Hathaway can
So
do it.
it's like-
could have done it, yeah.
But it's like, we got Mandy Moore.
Yeah, let's just use
I mean,
it.
she opens the film
just
with
use her.
God Only Knows What I'd Be Without You.
And I think that-
closes
God.
it.
And I think that
my
she
God.
just like Mandy Moore's doing a really good job, but she's just being a little more extra.
She is.
Like
Oh,
she's
God.
kind of giving
Her
it
extra-
a little like
She's turning on
Yes.
to Jessica Simpson.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh, I never even thought of it that
Yeah,
way.
it's
Yes.
very Jessica
Yes.
Simpson. That
Well,
like
she did-
overblown Fergie like.
Yes, but it's also
delivery.
like she's like so. But you can see it also in near the end when she's dancing to the other Christian band that's up there, like her vigor.
Oh, yeah.
her faith and music.
Oh, yeah. That's- yeah.
intertwined.
Those like Christian rock bands for teens. Oh my,
They can get
goodness.
intense.
Oh
I
my
mean, it's-
goodness.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, actually, well, I used to listen to Evanescence.
Hey, bring me to life, bitch.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
Going under.
My first concert,
My immortal.
My first concert as a teenager was a Lifehouse concert.
What was your first concert ever?
My
A-
Immortal,
a Lifehouse
by the way-
concert.
Oh, okay, that was your first concert ever.
Ever,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yours. What was yours?
Oh my god, my first concert ever. You guys are gonna. I'm telling you, I'm very old, but I was a very small child. I have to say, I was like 8 or 9, and
That's a small child. I don't
8 or
know
9
ages.
is
I don't
eight.
know ages at all.
9 is a small child. What do you
Yeah,
think
but like
that's a
10-year-old
teenager?
was in double digits. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything.
That's like third
no
grade.
relation. Oh, actually, okay, that is young.
Yeah.
You're taught.
When I was in the 3rd grade, my mother took my sister and I to go see Stacy Q. Two of Hearts.
Two of Hearts.
Oh, thank
That
you.
is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just going to say my first concert was actually in 3rd grade as well.
See who
Yeah.
and it was.
Spice Girls.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you're lucky.
That's amazing. That's
My
a
mom
really
took
good
me.
concert.
Was it the reunion tour in 07?
Yep, in the 3rd grade I was. Yeah. No, it was
in
their
07.
one, but Jerry had just left, and you could sense my disappointment too. Only in that sense because I guess I walked up to a lady dressed up as her and was like, "She's no longer a member."
You need to leave.
My mom was like, "Tyler James." Yeah,
I do like the song "Goodbye" though that they recorded. without
that was
Jerry.
great. It was
Yeah,
really
it's a good
sweet.
song.
Yeah, yeah. And you watch their documentary, you can see it was hard on them. Wait, again, we digress.
But, so the Christian jewels are amazing.
Oh, they are. Actually, I do love after the prayer circle when Mandy, when Jenna Malone has reached her point where she's realized she's pregnant. She's gone to Planned Parenthood, which is a reflection on at the very beginning when she's still setting up her life. Jenna Malone is setting up her life. They have this very close up of her and Mandy like screaming and shouting with signs, and it seems like they're at a marathon. And then it pulls out, and it's at the
They're at Planned Parenthood.
Yes! And like a woman like goes to the door, but then
Yep.
turns away, and you can hear Mandy be like, "Save your baby, save your baby." And it's like just funny then to see like Mary, not even 20 minutes later having to set up an appointment doing that. And
I
that's
didn't
just
even-
the start, the decline. And you see Mary completely give up her faith when she goes to that giant cross and she's up there and she holds her hands out. Well, yeah, she says fuck, but then the last one isn't fuck. It's
goddamn
goddamn.
it. Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. And then she goes to the prayer circle, and that's where she's like, all this is just a waste of time. And Hillary's like, I need your Christian jewel. Like, tag.
that pin back.
Give that pin back. You're going to ruin us and what we stand
Besmirch
for.
our name.
Right?
Yeah. The P circle.
The piece. I think she messed up, man.
I think she just messed up.
messed up.
They left it in. They didn't
Yeah.
have time to go back. Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't even catch the Planned Parenthood protests the first time around.
It's a quick go. I mean, that first introduction is a really fast. There's so many jokes in there that you will miss.
Yeah.
I mean, even them just zooming in on them at the concert, like, praise be, and like listening to the Christian rock, or seeing Chad Faust.
Did you know that
ice
the
skating.
band?
I love that.
The band that they book at the end of the movie, I think that they overdub it, but it's the replacements.
Yes, I did hear that. I thought
Did they actually get the replacements to do that?
No. I thought it was for the longest time. I thought it was Reliant K. Have you guys heard of that Christian
I know
band?
Reliant K.
But
That's
they
what I thought
used
it
the
was
replacements like music though
The
in that
audio,
scene.
yeah.
I don't think it's them.
No, it's not the replacements in the some fucking.
I don't know what they look like. I think they might have been replaced.
I think they were because
Possibly.
it's definitely not them.
Godflight, Godplan, Godflight.
Because of course,
What's
this
that called in the movie? Godflight.
Because of course, this movie, like any great teen movie, the climax has to be at the prom.
At the
And that's
prom,
what's-
in
and
front of
that's what's-
everyone, discussing things that you shouldn't be in front of everyone.
And that's the thing about this movie is that it is a very traditional, and it's not a read. It's a very traditional high school movie.
Yes,
You get, like-
you get the bad girl that turns out to be the friend and supportive. You get the friends in the beginning that turn out to be bitches.
You get all of the seasons of the year that you see in the school to like be the pat.
But
like,
I will say
process of
this: I will
time.
say the one thing that doesn't read super great, I actually think, is Patrick Fugit's character because he doesn't stop. At this day and age, I mean, it should have been ever, but when someone says no, it should be a no.
Yeah, it's the whole,
and
like,
as
don't give
endearing
up.
as it is,
Yeah.
although that's not true. Like I'm in a very happy relationship from someone who didn't give up.
Who didn't give up?
Yeah. So, but there is a point where you're like, dude, like she said no. I'm so happy that you're supportive. I'm so happy you're there in the end. But also, this was also the age. Speaking of this type of movie, where like the grunge boy was the it.
Oh my God.
I mean,
definitely.
speaking of another Mandy Moore film, How to Deal. Remember him, the guy that was in that, the lead?
Oh, he's a dirtbag.
It just like that's what it felt like, though. You know, you're like,
Man,
that's a guy.
How
to
to Deal.
Yeah.
There is a movie that I have not thought about.
I talked to my
probably
mom
10
on the
years.
phone today. I told her about this,
the
and
fuck
she
is
goes,
How to
"You know what? I love How to Deal. I always watch it on Lifetime."
I just remember
Or like
that.
Hallmark or
I just
something
remember that one scene that was in the trailer and every single TV spot of Allison
Which one?
Janney, where she throws her wedding ring in the salad and she says "toss."
Yes, yeah, or the grandma. The grandma gets high in it. I remember.
Who the fuck is the guy in How to Deal?
He's not in anything else. I don't think. Like really, though,
I
it's a
think
flash in the
that-
pan type thing.
I just think that they. I mean, they tried to make Ava Miri happen and nothing quite stuck.
really
Like,
though, because
stuck
she
with
did what
her.
she did the Banger Sisters before. Was that
Yeah.
before Saved?
Yeah.
I mean, she also was on Friends.
like
I mean,
a
but
month.
she was only on Friends because of Susan Sarandon. Like she played like Susan Sarandon's character was getting Joey was his brain was being transplanted into her on the soap
yeah,
opera.
I remember that.
The girl that gets slapped by Susan Sarandon that's in all of her
Oh,
scenes and
that's
says
her?
mother. That's her.
Oh, that's cute.
And then but I can't really remember anything else besides Banger Sisters.
yeah.
She's in That's My Boy with Adam Sandler and Susan Sarandon.
I think in the commentary, the directors were like, we didn't know who she was.
Mm-hmm.
She's great.
Yo, she's
In
good.
this,
Yeah,
she's great.
yeah.
She has range. She's kind of odd and quirky looking, so
Yeah.
it's like believably, you know,
She's got another
at
shag.
ends. Yeah, that hair.
Her hair's a little. She's pulling a little Joan
She
Jett
feels like
fantasy.
she feels like she's like a her uniform is always like the unkempt like Japanese schoolgirl though
Yes.
the way that it is
Yeah,
it's
it's a
always
little
the
too
best. It's
short.
always- yes
Yeah.
shorter high socks
Yeah, yeah.
and there's also one moment actually when she loses Macaulay in the film and she goes to find him and she's wearing very low like
Oh my
pants.
God,
do you remember that with
yes.
like a really cropped top?
Yeah, she got like the whale tail. coming
Yes, I mean you
out,
see them
like,
them hip bones
Yes.
like yes
They're
yeah.
so. Yeah,
She's out for the world.
yeah. But that was very of the time.
it was very
Those
03.
pants were so
Yeah.
low at the time. Like, come
That
on.
is true. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fashion that is
like
that.
Beyonce,
If someone-
Britney, they were all wearing those.
If someone were to tell me or ask me what the fashion of 2000s was, though, I think the only thing I could say was like girls in like jean skirts and Uggs. Like I don't
Oh, yeah.
feel like I remember
It was-
anything else.
It was
And collared shirts. I mean, I popped my collar like nobody's business.
and also girls wearing jeans with dresses over them. Do you remember that?
oh,
Yes. This is some Ashley
Oh.
Tisdale.
Not even.
my God, you're
not even
right.
Kristen Bell and Veronica Mars could
Yeah.
pull off that look.
hey,
I mean, yeah.
sweet 16.
That,
Oh wait, no, what is this?
Oh, that's Top Model.
Oh fuck!
That's
I thought that
next
was.
week.
I literally thought that was.
All right, so where the hell are we in this movie? Come on.
The wine's been a flowing, and we've gotten a little
Yeah.
off track.
So she befriends.
Well, she becomes really good friends with.
She becomes
with,
really good
uh,
friends.
No, there's a
Cassandra.
turning point.
with
There's a
Ava
turning point.
and
Cassandra
and Mac.
There's a turning point. Well, Ava and Macaulay they've started a relationship, and Jenna Malone has been trying to hide her pregnancy, and the only one who's caught on is Cassandra.
Yes,
Ava, and so there's a scene where they go into the bathroom, and she kind of goads her into admitting that she's having a baby. Like, she keeps saying, like, you could do this with your baby, you could do that with your baby, and she's like, shut up, stop. And then she goes, you could sell your baby, and Jenna Malone gets caught saying, I'm not going to sell my
baby.
And then it's like, oh, I let the cat out of the bag, and then she becomes a really supportive friend. It's almost a quick turn.
I really like their friendship in this movie.
I do too.
It's a good juxtaposition between her relationship and then her relationship with Hilary Faye.
I think who?
Or, like, it's a good juxtaposition of the two female relationships.
Mary's
yes, but I also
Cassandra.
I have to say the bathroom scene between them that we were just describing is almost again another foreshadow for how she handles Hilary Faye in the end.
Yes,
she's felt so much like I truly think she's felt like so much of an outsider at this school that she's then I'm going to play the part. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it up, and that's going to be my defense mechanism because I'm the only person who's not like everyone else. Yeah. And so then she gets lost in that, and while she's playing that, she can't really be like the compassionate person that she is in the bathroom or near the end of the film.
Compassionate. Right. That's a very good word to describe this character.
Yeah. I think she really is. She means well with everyone. I mean, think about Macaulay. She falls in love with him despite how difficult that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, she does say the sex helps.
But at the end, when Hilary Faye drives her car into the big Jesus, like, so great.
Just crashed my van into Jesus. I have a pimple the size of Jupiter. I am not okay.
But the only person that's there is, it's Cassandra and
Roland rocks
Roland, yeah.
Speaking of female anatomy, that blazer, she looks amazing, but she's like, it's bouncing.
Oh my goodness. I do love their prom looks.
The prom looks are great. So speaking of styling, you're all on the styling. How did they do prom? Let's talk about this. Prom 2004.
I think
I hate Hilary Faye's dress.
So my prom
I hate Hilary Faye's dress.
So my prom
I hate everything about her, but it also fits it. Like, I feel like she almost would have had a big
skirt.
So I was prom 2004.
Love it.
That was I was prom 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not all that much like younger than me.
No.
Why did I think you were like 23 or something? No, you're not all that much younger than me.
You old.
I will take 23.
I know, shit.
Please, thank you. When people ask me how old I am, I'm like, booking 20.
That's when you said like when you mentioned that you saw the Spice Girls, I was like, oh, like the 07 reunion.
I know, I really loved that. I thought you were joking with me, but at the same time, I was like, maybe he's feeding me a little bit here. No, I saw Spice. I mean, seriously, my concert viewing was Spice Girls, NSYNC, Hilary Duff.
Love it. Love it. I feel like Roland's hair was super.
I had this hair. I had this hair in high school.
Right.
Stop it, guys. Yep. His prom hair.
His prom hair.
Yeah. I probably did my hair like this for prom.
Oh God, yeah, with a little ice,
forward.
Maybe blue or red.
Just has so much gel in it that it's just crunchy.
Oh God, yeah. Well, you just at the end of the day just like run your hands through it and it would just flake.
Yeah, that shit was not moving at this prom at all. Well, also Cassandra's hair, that is shellacked. Like she had that slicked down. She's got gel.
She definitely has tape on those boobs too.
Has to.
My God.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish she almost went full like J-Lo in the green dress.
Love it.
You know, and
we just watched a Vogue video on that where she talked about the green Versace dress.
Did you see her redo the walk?
Yep.
Yes,
stomped it out.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Yeah.
And Jerry wore that dress before her. Have you not seen the picture?
No.
Jerry Halliwell wore it first, like a month before.
I feel like the styling is a little better.
You know what's really funny is when you said
though.
Jerry, I didn't skip a beat because I was like, only one name now.
Jerry Blank wore it.
But I was like, Seinfeld?
Jerry Blank wore the green dress.
When I first moved to LA 10 years ago, I was with my mom. We were at a restaurant. And all of a sudden, Jerry Seinfeld walks in, and she was the cutest. She was like,
"That's a good one.
Oh,
that's a good celebrity side."
Yes, on my very first go, you know.
Oh, my mom would lose her mind.
Oh, my mom was the cute. She's like, "Tyler, what do we do?" And I was like, "What do you mean?
What do we do?
We're like at a table. Like, what
Should
do you
we
mean?
leave? Do we call somebody?
Oh my gosh! Oh, there he is. Oh my gosh! Tyler, my hands are sweating.
Can we stay?
It was so cute. It was the cutest thing ever.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
But
that is a good one. I've
It's a
never
good
seen
one.
Jerry
My
Seinfeld.
second
I've
one was
lived here
Joey
my whole life.
Lawrence. I was like,
Well,
Disney Channel, brotherly love. Come on.
Did he have like the crazy like shaved
Bald.
head?
It was bald.
Oh, I love
Bald,
it. I
yeah.
love the bald Joey
Daddy
Lawrence. Oh my goodness.
trying to think of my
With
first
the plucked eyebrows.
really good celebrity. Well, speaking of Mandy Moore, I was sitting in
Don't you dare say her.
Salor,
Don't you dare
Salor
say
de Cahuenga. It's on Cahuenga.
Yeah,
I remember
Salar.
in walked Shane West.
Shane West.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Were you at Mandy's star when they gave her star in the Walk of Fame and Shane West introduced it? Were you there?
Shane West introduced her.
And Adam Shankman was
he did it.
there.
Yeah.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
I'm so sorry, but this is bleak. I was having a really rough period of time. Really though, during this whole thing, and I caught wind that she was getting her star, and I thought, you know what? I need something like a little pick me up. I need something. I was like, maybe I can just go feel some of the energy of the excitement.
You can just go.
Like,
Whenever
I'm
somebody's
here.
getting a star, you can just show up
But
and go.
literally, and I'm here. Like, if I was in Washington at the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
I would never be able to do it. But this was a tangible thing.
Yes.
And so I remember trying and putting so much effort into trying to figure out when it was, but it was when they were announcing when all the other people were getting it as well.
yeah.
And so I was never able to get a date. And I remember, oh my gosh, I remember the day that, and I found out that it had already passed, what it had happened. And like, it was the thing that I was just putting all of my like gumption into. Really, I know this sounds so bad, but I was really like having a rough time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to be able to see the star. I'm going to get some energy. I love her. And I missed it. And I was like,
That's a bummer.
Nope.
Son of
Like,
a-
Do you know where the star is located?
I don't. I don't know where they moved it to, because they can move all of them. Like they do the ceremony wherever,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then they'll move it. I don't. I know
hope
Judy Garland's in front of like Ripley's.
I hope that
Yeah.
Mandy has some good
Me
real
too.
estate property.
Some good real estate.
maybe like
Yeah.
around. Like I wanted to be like
Pretty
around
good
like
view.
Kate Blanchett in front of the Egyptian, maybe. Like not near Harrison Ford down the street. Like I want some like, or like Michael Jackson's in front of a CVS, guys.
Reese's is at the subway stop in front of the Pantages.
Incredible.
She could be down there.
There's a lot of space right in front of that subway stop.
Oh, I went and asked them how much space and time there is for me to get on there. And they're like, you can just buy it. And I was like,
You
well,
can
that
buy it,
sucks.
yeah.
But most stars wait, actually. I mean, like the famous ones, like Paula Abdul was bought by American Idol, so that they
Yeah,
would get more
you
traction.
buy it
But
for-
most
You have
people do it.
You have to make a very generous donation to the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, and then I did ask also the handprints of the Chinese Grauman.
Oh, my
and that's based on your box office, actually.
Right.
Sure. And also, like Jessica Chastain has handprints, but she doesn't have a star.
Interesting.
that's
Stars
a
seem
whole-
to be really aptly
Ethan
timed.
Hawke.
Yeah.
They really do.
also
I mean,
believe-
Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell just got one when Frozen 2 was
Frozen
out.
2, yeah.
And also,
So,
I
like,
believe like Ethan Hawke has handprints, but he doesn't have a star.
that's fine with me.
What?
That's fine with me. I'm okay with
He
that.
is, he is Hollywood royalty. No, he's not.
No, he's not. No.
We just
Don't
have
you
the
remember that
Hawkeyes
like
on.
Family Guy episode where Brian can't decide who's better, Val Kilmer or him?
I feel like I don't know that they're comparable. I guess they are.
I was just so sad that I missed her ceremony, and I was like, and then she has her new album coming out March 7th,
sure.
Silver Landings, and she did a 4-weekend residency, which I ended up...
Where?
It was at the Bootleg Theater in downtown LA.
What?
And she had special guests. She brought the whole thing on. Her husband plays with her as well. Her husband actually went on and wrote a song, a really important song on This Is Us.
And he's a folk singer, right?
He's very folk. Yeah, very much like her albums. Like, so she started out, she did her first album, So Real, which is very, poppy.
I mean, how old was she?
She was
when
16.
she recorded
No, she was
that?
15. She was 15 because
she's
she actually
super young.
just released a
Damn.
song called 15 about that experience and about how she thought she was making music, but she was just filling seats and like that type of aspect.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Actually, little
She
known
was like-
trivia: Scarlett Johansson is an extra in the Candy music
Oh,
video.
interesting. Now, in the Candy music video, are they driving around in Beatles?
A VW.
See?
Yeah,
I told
Brand
you.
new, brand new.
So
Yes.
I have
And also, that was a huge connection to me because my my mom, my dad, and my brother are the only people who call me Bug. And I was like, Mandy Moore's driving one.
so I have
I'm stupid about it.
so whenever I think
But
of
not
Mandy
stupid that we
Moore-
can't be friends. Mandy.
So whenever I think of Mandy Moore and her big pop princess career, I remember babysitting in the year 2000. In the year 2000. And I remember the kids, like one was at swimming lessons, the other one would sleep in, and I would watch MTV before, like, we used to...
The Diary of Mandy Moore for Walk to Remember when she filmed Cry?
And I remember Mandy Moore had a brief career as an MTV VJ. And I used to watch the Mandy Moore show.
The Diary
and she had a beach house show.
Shut up. I had no idea this was a real thing.
Where she would intro music videos.
Shut up.
Do you not remember this?
No, I remember watching her, like, Diary and making the video and, like, every other thing
when I was babysitting in the summer of 2000, watching her Mandy Moore beach show.
She was a really, really, really good friend of DJ AM. Huge friend. His death was a huge impact on her life.
And did she date MTV News' Brian McFadden?
I don't know. She dated she dated like Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah.
She dated Andy Roddick.
Yes,
that was a good one. Andy and Mandy.
And you know what I really like about Mandy Moore?
She also was in a really like unfortunate situation with her husband Ryan Adams, who apparently tried to control all of her music.
He's a little canceled.
We should be.
I haven't been listening to my Ryan Adams on my iPod.
I'm also so
recently.
disappointed in men these days that are like can't be shorter than a woman. I'm just so over it.
What is that?
She's tall and beautiful, and her husband understands that. But
I mean, it's why Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise didn't work out.
And the gay thing.
Reason.
But what I like about Mandy Moore is that she came from this era of pop music, but you can't really kind of compare her to Britney Spears or Jessica Simpson. I think that what's cool about her is that she really made this career her own.
Well, listen.
Like, you really can't compare her to, like, Britney Spears because she definitely, like...
I'm a as everyone can tell, I'm a fan. When it came out, when she first came on the scene, I feel like it truly was this order. Britney, Christina, Jessica Simpson, Mandy.
Yeah.
Really, though, if you think about it.
She was kind of D-list when it came to the
when she started out,
99
Candy,
Pop Stars.
Candy and So Real were big. I mean, she did have Walk Me Home, too, which not a lot of people remember. That one, Walk Me Home, I don't want to go all the way alone. Do you remember that?
Barely.
But like it was so bad. But she was like almost like kind of in this fourth thing. I truly think that she stepped out of it when she started acting.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And when she started to move into what she wanted to write as music.
Yeah.
So I love her Mandy Moore self-entitled album, which was her third one, but it's still, you can tell, more studio. Her album after that, Wild Hope, which centers around her breakup with Zach Braff. It is.
Oh, I forgot she was a thing with Zach Braff.
Yeah, I remember she was
also
on
had
Scrubs.
a small arc on Scrubs.
Yeah, remember, and they broke up because she didn't laugh at things. She only said that's so funny. That's so funny.
Tell your
and
face.
they bought that house, but it was only a porch.
Porch thing, and he had
she was with Zach Braff for a really long time, and I guess they had a really unfortunate breakup. And there's so many songs on there that I revisited from a breakup 2 years ago that I was like, yes. I mean, there's one called A Few Days Down. You know, there's one about like, you know, always being happy, you know, being your supporter, you know, also trying to remain friends. There's a lot of that on Wild Hope. She also did an album called Coverage, which is purely covers. She does
a covers album.
Yeah, like, you know, One Way or Another, Senses Working Overtime, Whole of the Moon, Have a Little Faith in Me.
Oh dear.
And Mandy Moore is one of those careers
Drop the Pilot.
that, like, you kind of underestimate her because you kind of think like, well, what's Mandy Moore been doing? Apparently a lot.
Yes, and also I have a friend. I have an inside scoop. She's a vice president of Current at Fox, but she said for years they were giving Mandy pilots. It's just that none of them were picked up.
Oh, okay.
So, like I think she had 5 pilots that she filmed before This Is Us.
Sure.
And This Is Us is weirdly Fox, but airs on NBC.
Sure.
But they'd been giving her these pilots, but they just weren't testing well, weren't doing well. And then This Is Us actually wasn't handed to her. They asked her to come in. She read for it. And then they told her that like a month later they were seeing other women.
It's an interesting role for her because she has to play young and old. Like, isn't she in like Old Lady Drag?
Yes, I'm
for some of
proud
that show.
Her. I have to say I'm really proud of her. She's really stepped out of something.
We're
that
not huge fans of Mrs. Us or This Is Us.
So I have to agree with you only in the aspect that I don't need to sob every week.
Agree.
And I can relate to a lot of the things that are going on there, but I also, like, it's just amazing to see a family connect, but then sometimes it's like, honestly, I can't put out this emotional energy. Seriously, though, I got to the point where I was like, it's a little too much for me. However, she has done some amazing scenes, and also to see that, like, she's evolved. I mean, A Walk to Remember, one of my biggest complaints is that the reason why it's called A Walk to Remember is the fact that she has cancer, and so she at the end when she marries Shane West, she has to get out of her wheelchair and she has to walk down the aisle because she makes seriously, I know this sounds so sad, but like she makes the effort to actually be able to walk and get to him, and she is just this gorgeous fucking angel sweeping down the floor like it was, like motion track Twilight vampire. Like I was so angry, I was so mad. But now to see that she has the physicality of, I don't think that was her choice, by the way, but to see that she has the physicality of an old woman, it's cool. She's really evolved acting wise,
and she's also a Disney princess.
Stop.
Love it.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I went to a meet and greet with Nathan Greno, one of the directors of Tangled. It's him and Byron Howard. I think they're both really genius. They were gearing up to do Gigantic at Disney, and I think that was postponed indefinitely.
Oh, right. What's the big song from Tangled?
At Last I See the Light. I See the Light.
It's a beautiful song.
They sang it at the Oscars, but it was that year where they lumped all of the songs together, so all 4 nominations were sang back to back.
They lost to that bullshit Toy Story 3 song.
That's
some bullshit.
When I found out that he did Marriage Story, I kept singing around, now we got a divorce to get the kid. Like, I was so angry. I was although, are you guys a fan of Black Mirror?
I've watched Black Mirror.
Do you know the song they always repeat? Like, "Cause anyone."
Oh yeah.
He wrote that song.
What?
Yes, he wrote that song.
Get the fuck out.
It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
So Mandy Moore, Renaissance woman.
Yeah.
Hey,
you guys, I love her.
I like her as a brunette.
Really though, it was also really cool too because I have to say I think it was like an instant thing for me when it was A Walk to Remember because of the fact that I had never read growing up. My brother always read. Then I finally decided to choose a book. Chose A Walk to Remember. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
Because you were a young gay kid.
Yeah, I guess
reading
so.
the Nicholas Sparks book.
Reading that stuff. I mean, and it put me on like a bender. I would bend in the road, message in a bottle, all of them. But I remember... I remember like crying, like one of those like things where you're like, I was laying with my book above me, so like the tears were like streaking down like super dramatically, and my mom was like, "This must be a really good book," and I was like, "You should read it." And then like she did, and then the movie came out, and we had like a mom-son date. We went to dinner. Like I still have it. I still have my ticket stub, an old AMC like yellow and blue ticket framed at my house from that moment because it was so important to me and my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, so corny, I know, but like, it's just it was at those moments where it really hit and really bonded us.
Yeah, for sure. Mandy, you're welcome on the show.
I'm getting some eyes from Scott.
You live in Pasadena, Mandy.
Scott's giving me some eyes.
Come over,
cutting those eyes. No, Mandy's our neighbor. I mean, I can figure out where that house is.
So we were watching
that video right now.
We were watching an Architectural Digest YouTube video of her touring her beautiful mid-century modern house, and we were trying to figure out
what is mid-century actually. I know mid-century, but what century is she miding? Because it looks just completely
it's like
modern.
50s.
The 20th century.
Oh, I guess the color scheme is very like pastel, like the pinks that are like really subdued.
Well, it's like mid-century is like the lines.
I wasn't paying that much attention.
Like the lines and just how the house is built.
What are you doing, girl?
But anyways, we're trying to figure out. I was trying to look at the mountains in the back and decide, like, try to figure out where exactly the house was.
I would have never said Pasadena. I would have said like I don't know.
I wouldn't have said it from looking at it, but the fact that it was like a super on there.
Just go up Allen and turn right, and you're at Mandy's house.
Yeah,
there you go. Who's Allen?
The street.
I'm kidding.
Just it's right by Eaton Canyon. We can hike to the back of her house. I bet you I can find it.
Holy wait, that's where she is. I know where that is.
I think so.
Yeah, 100% I know where that is.
Based on the view and the fact that it said Pasadena, because otherwise it would have said Altadena.
Because I thought it might be in La Cañada or something.
La Cañada. But the fact that it said Pasadena made me think Eaton Canyon. That's just my little sleuthing brain. But, you never know. They might have tried to throw us off the trail. So,
yeah, who does know? I will say this. I'm seeing her May 14th.
I can't.
Where's she at?
At the Ace Hotel.
Oh, okay. That's a beautiful theater.
It is a lovely theater.
And I will say it was a little stressful trying to make sure that I got tickets, but I did it.
But will she be singing...
I think Michael Stipe is going to make an appearance at the concert.
Who sings? Is that who sings it with her at the end?
Yeah.
So, by the way, the singer of R.E.M. produced this movie.
Oh Really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it has a very famous. Wait, is Christopher Beck?
Christopher Beck, who did the music from Frozen, did the music for this movie too. Oh, I just blew your mind.
Dead.
You're gagged.
Dead and buried.
I love Frozen. I need to listen to Mandy.
Do you remember when Ashley Cassidy posted that she doesn't get Frozen, and you just replied, "Rude, rude."
We can't talk about
That's gay rights.
We can't talk about it. I saw Frozen 2 with my mom on my left side and my boyfriend on the right. And when Elsa's hair went down, I swear my boyfriend whispered, "We've lost him." I swear. My mom and I both visibly gasped. Visibly? That doesn't happen. We both were like,
Yeah.
"What's this? This isn't saved."
This is, I mean...
Some good production value in this song. And they didn't release this as just a single that would be on the radio.
No, this song is impossible to find.
Oh, yeah.
Don't bother, like,
I mean,
Shazamming this shit.
Versus, like
they
Walk
had
to Remember, everything was unavailable. Like
they
everything.
had to pay, like, Brian Wilson probably some major money for this.
Yeah, how did they score Beach Boys?
She sounds really good, though.
She sounds so good.
Yeah.
So this has been the Movies That Made Us Gay, Mandy Moore takeover.
I mean, come on.
You knew it was going to happen when you reached out. I think you first were like, maybe Charlie's Angels. I was like, no.
Right.
No.
I'm glad it was this, though. Oh, wait.
She's taking it. She's taking it up. That's a key change, y'all.
Come on. Here it is.
We're all lip syncing. Don't worry about it.
I have to say, I'm kind of giving it to Michael Stipe from REM for, like...
He's harmonizing.
He's harmonizing.
Doing a good job.
He's like... But he's...
You know, he's doing it, like, to not overpower her. Just enough to compliment, but not overpower.
No, totally. I mean, he's, like, super, like, indie cred. I mean, he's fucking Michael Stipe.
I mean, he, like, pioneered college radio.
Yeah, so the fact that he was like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna...
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll arrive in a long scarf.
and with my shaved ass head. I mean...
I hope she didn't record it in the mullet.
No. She... Maybe... What was that movie that you said you watched?
So, that is not a wig.
No.
That is her hair?
That is her hair. Yeah.
Wow.
Growing
She
out of
says
her
so in
head.
the commentary. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is not cute.
I don't think they did any reshoots where she would have drastically been changed. I remember I worked on Killers briefly with Katherine Heigl, and I remember she was touching her hair really strangely. And we all were like, what? And it turned out she'd already dyed her hair brown for another project, and they were doing reshoots, and she had a completely, like, blonde wig on.
Wig. Oh, man. We haven't even talked about All I Want with Elijah Wood. But
have you seen All I Want?
That's for another episode.
It's in the closet now.
Have you seen, oh my gosh, Southland Tales?
Of course. It's fucking terrible.
So bad.
Have you seen Romance and Cigarettes?
I couldn't find, I tried so hard. I did not.
She has a little song that she does with Mary Louise Parker.
Love it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
They worked together then previously already.
Cute. I love it.
Yeah.
So we have All I Want in the closet.
There we go. I'll
Have you seen it?
Watch any of it. No.
You've never seen All I Want?
No.
It's not that good.
I believe it.
Yeah.
No.
You
That
can
was-
just have the DVD.
That was brought into
Great.
its collection from Scott's. That was
It's because of my love for Elijah
folded.
Wood.
That was folded into the... Oh, Elijah.
Oh, yeah.
She's so-
Elijah Wood is someone.
so
Wait, what's the
pretty.
other one? She was in one with Orlando Bloom, I feel like. No, I'm thinking of this one. Never mind. Got that. Got that.
All right.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
wait, no.
gosh.
Can actually Saved? Can I plug something?
Of course.
Please do.
Saved actually is really topical when coming to what my next project. A friend of mine, really dear friend of mine, fellow actor, writer, producer. We have put together a show called Normally Mormon. About a woman who's in a 6-year relationship with a man. They're part of an LDS community, and he comes out. And it's about the coming out from her process. But it's also about like opening up discussion about religion and how we can essentially evolve to a point where like religion can be a part of your life, but you can also see that it's not so cookie cutter and that it's more based on love. And yeah, so we've started a Seed and Spark campaign. You can look up Seed and Spark, Normally Mormon, if you want to go and donate and check it out.
Awesome.
Is it on GoFundMe?
No, Seed and Spark.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's going all through March.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
This was really fun.
We talked a lot of Mandy Moore.
I mean,
You're so welcome.
this was so great.
I have a feeling that there's a lot of tangents that we're probably going to cut out.
No. We're leaving it all
Move.
in.
We'll move it around.
We'll cut it all in post. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank you so
this
much for
podcast.
coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
This was
Fun.
so much
This
fun.
was a lot of fun.
We were all over the place with Saved, but I feel like we really got to the meat of this movie. I mean,
Yeah. Yes.
do we have any final thoughts? On
I mean,
Saved?
final thoughts is that it's preaching love. We
It
should
is.
love all.
It's true. There you go.
We should really love all.
Thank you. That's the message, really.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what true religion is about, too. The
For sure.
community and the love.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I think what's kind of interesting about the movie is that by the end, the Christian values aren't really overthrown, but they're sort of like
Adjusted.
demonstrated.
Mhm. Yeah.
This is probably more along the lines of Jesus' teachings.
Well, but it's
And-
also, you get to see multiple
yeah.
layers of it. You get to see someone like Mary Louise Parker's character who's very flighty with her religion
Yes.
versus a woman like Hilary Faye who's so involved in it versus a woman who, like Cassandra, who might not relate to it, but she's finding community in the sense that it's at a Christian place. You know, like they're all finding aspects of...
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I was going to say, oh, yeah, no.
No, I was like, wait a minute, is that wrong?
Some looks.
I was going to say, and I like that Hillary's character is sort of redeemed, and she gets to be friends with the cool kids at the end.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
actually really I like the fact that she goes, "Do you think Jesus still loves me?" And her brother goes, "Probably
No.
not." Like that's
Probably
like a
not.
real realistic. I mean, then he's like, "Of course, yeah, you know."
But that's her brother. You know,
Yeah,
of course you're going to say
exactly,
that.
yeah.
I would say that. Yeah.
I mean, I will say I don't think they look like siblings.
no.
No.
Not in the least. No. But I do think that the fat young Mandy Moore looks
Oh,
a
we
lot.
did not even discuss.
Yeah, what's going on there?
We didn't even discuss that photo.
That photo looks a lot like the eyes, though, are so similar to Mandy's eyes.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
I
you think
think
it
that.
was-
I
But
think
also,
that,
she overreacted
I
because no one
think
said it
it's
was
actually.
Hilary Faye.
I think
No.
that picture is Mandy Moore that they just like
Fattened.
that they
Zhuzhed up?
just went all crazy
Yeah, that's
with.
terrible. I'm
Yeah.
being so inappropriate with it. Yeah, that's so terrible.
Oh, boy.
It's okay. I remember my brother. We went and saw American Dreams with Mandy Moore and Hugh Grant.
American
And
Dreams.
afterwards, we walked out. My brother goes, "Does she look a little fat?" And I swear, every girl was like, "What the hell did you just say?" And actually, then in an interview later, she said she gained weight for it to
Oh,
try
who
and
knew?
be pudgy.
Well, there you go.
And I was like, he's not wrong, but it's such a really rude thing to
That's
say.
her. That's her Bridget Jones.
It's her like
She packed on the 20 pounds.
It's the closest thing that like she's going to get to like Charlize Theron in Monster.
Oh, my goodness.
Is American
Oh.
Dreams.
Wow.
Oh, what a performance. Okay, we can't.
Yeah, we can go on and on. But thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so much
on
for
this
coming.
show.
Yes,
thank
This
you so much for having me.
This was a lot of fun.
It was.
Wow. Well, once again, do you plug one more time?
Yes, please just check out Normally Mormon on Seed and Spark. You will see it under Jordan Van Cleef or me, Tyler Scheulke. We'd love a donation or contribution or just for you to check it out.
Awesome. Do you want to plug your social media while you're here?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, T Scheulke. And yeah. Oh, you can also find me at tylerscheulke.com. You can see all my work. And
Great.
I've recently been working on Christy Carlson Romano stuff.
Wow, cute.
Yeah.
I love
Little KP,
it.
little Kim Possible.
Cute. Well, you can follow Movies That Made Us Gay on social media as well. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Movies That Made Us Gay. We're also on Twitter at MTMUGPod, at Movies That Made Us Gay, MTMUGPod on Twitter. Go to iTunes and give us 5 stars.
Give us 5 stars.
5 star
Come
them.
on.
Helps the algorithm go up
Give
a little
us
bit.
5 stars and leave us a good review if you like us. 5. And don't leave us a review at all if you don't like us.
No.
But come on, we would love it if you would subscribe and rate us on iTunes. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Thank you for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.